My full name is Tish Das. My nickname is Tish. I received a kidney from my father in 1999 at around 6 or 7 days old. My father is a cardiologist. He noticed there was a problem, got rushed to Columbia in New York. They diagnosed me with what they call posterior urethral valves. And so they had to do some surgeries. And probably by the time I was age 5 or 7, I would say I had multiple surgeries. So I grew up with basically impaired kidney function, and that eventually turned into what they call hydronephrosis. And it lasted me all the way through high school and college. And it was tough growing up because, as probably young boys, and I'm in my 40s now, a lot of people from my generation that, when we were growing up, especially for boys, it was a lot about playing sports and things of that nature. And it's very restrictive for me. I tried I tried doing some stuff. My dad, my parents were pretty, not so encouraging with it because they were concerned, obviously. I started off college at Rutgers here in New Jersey. And then after a few years, I transferred to UC Santa Barbara, which is where I graduated from. Probably not the smartest decision. The decision to go to college and transfer was a really smart decision. But as far as sports and stuff, I played rugby in college and stuff. Probably wasn't a good idea with impaired kidney function, but it was kind of a little bit of rebellion towards my dad. And it was a very important time in my life and a lot of formative stuff. And actually that's where I learned that through my local nephrologist there, that my kidney condition was pretty much terminal, and that was it. It was like, and it was a hard situation to understand and manage on my own out there, 3,000 miles from home, trying to finish up college and all those things, and you're a young kid, you're like in the prime of your life, and it's really hard. And so I never went on dialysis. I went straight to transplant because I was pretty well looked after. About 13 months after graduation, I had my transplant. My father's my donor. At that time, he was at the cusp at 65. We did the transplant at New York Medical College in Valhalla. And my older brother, who's 10 years older than me, is a urologist. At that time, he was done with residency. He was practicing. He was part of the group there in the academic portion. So his partner actually did my dad's surgery. So I switched careers. I got into law school, went back out to California. I did a year in San Diego. It didn't work out. The meds were causing a lot of side effects, and I didn't understand, which sort of like a kind of a silver lining, so to speak, because I figured it out. And I came back here and spoke with my nephrologist, spoke with my dad, and took a risk. I said, I can't do this anymore. The meds are really impacting my lifestyle, and obviously I don't want to lose the organ. I don't want to die, but at the same time, I need to live. Long story short, I got through a couple of careers, different verticals, from mortgage banking to institutional sales to hedge funds and whatnot. Now I have my own practice. I do private wealth management. I'm happy to be alive. My father's still doing well. He's 86. So the ability to donate a kidney at age 65 and 99 and to still be alive and doing okay, doing well at 86. He just retired a couple of years ago from cardiology. And my wife and I are expecting our first, and we just found out a few months ago it's going to be a boy. So it's kind of pretty amazing for my father to see this proliferation of life, so to speak, in terms of giving me a kidney, and at this age, seeing his youngest son, after coming to this country and all the stuff he's had to deal with from 1968 till now, seeing his youngest son get married and having a kid, and we're looking forward. That's going to be a huge moment. I mean, I think that picture will speak an infinite amount of words, when that happens in a couple months. As far as my physicality, I'm doing well. I got hurt last summer. I tore my Achilles surfing, but that's just something that could happen independent of a transplant. So I'm still recovering from that injury. But as far as Team Liberty goes, I was captain of the basketball team from 2002 to 2010. I competed in all the games 5 times in a row. In 2010, I brought the first medal home for Team Liberty basketball. My 21st kidney transplant anniversary is 2 months ago. But back then, people were like, if you go 15, 20 years of living organ, wow, good for you. But I'm seeing people with, like 40 years. Like crazy, you've seen it yourself, and living donors are living just fine on one kidney, so whatever your goals are with a transplant, and, kidney's a little different than heart and liver and those kind of things, because your organs exposed. Basketball is a tough sport to play, but I've always looked at it as like whatever the challenge is, you find a way to make it work, and you change your goals and your expectations a little bit, and you'll find a way to do it. Transplant games are so amazing and touching to hear so many stories, to know that you're not alone, to know what people have been through, to hear the stories of families that have lost people that they've donated their organs, and then they get to meet people that their family members or other people are living through their lost ones' organs is such a profound and enlightening experience. Obviously, it's different than my own because my father donated to me. But in 2010, my parents came to the transplant games. So it was in Madison. So it was pretty amazing for them to see me play basketball because my parents never encouraged sports. Here they are watching me play basketball and win a medal and all this stuff. And they see the value of all this. And then I had some of my best friends fly out from other parts of the country and they got it. And they came to the opening ceremonies and they heard these stories like a little girl getting a transplanted heart. And then one of my best friends, his daughter was that same age. And him and his wife were like crying. So to tell the stories, whatever the context, be it the transplant games or being with people that never heard of these things, or are great ways and wonderful ways to find connections amongst all of us.